Welcome to Movies Philosophy Channel. In this episode, we explore the emotional and introspective journey of Moonlight, 2016. Directed by Barry Jenkins. This coming-of-age film is based on Terrell Alvin McCraney's play In Moonlight Black Boys Look Blue. The film is told in 3 chapters, following a young black boy named Chiron as he grows up in a rough Miami neighborhood. It's a deeply moving exploration of identity, masculinity, love, and self-discovery. Let's dive into the layers of this powerful film and the key moments that define it. Part 1. Little, Chiron's childhood. The first chapter of the film is titled Little, which is Chiron's nickname as a child, played by Alex Hibbert. Chiron is shy, quiet, and withdrawn, living in the Liberty City neighborhood of Miami in the 1980s. He is often bullied by other children, who taunt him for being different and call him names due to his perceived homosexuality, even though he is too young to fully understand his identity. Chiron's home life is no better. His mother, Paula, played by Naomi Harris, is struggling with drug addiction and emotionally neglects him. This neglect leaves Chiron isolated and vulnerable. One day, while running from bullies, Chiron hides in an abandoned crack house, where he is found by Juan, played by Mahershala Ali, a local drug dealer. Juan takes Chiron home to his girlfriend, Teresa, played by Janelle Monáe, and together they offer him food, care, and temporary shelter. Juan becomes a father figure to Chiron, teaching him important life lessons and showing him kindness. In one poignant moment, Chiron asks Juan, "What's a F****************? T?" And Juan, visibly pained, explains that it is a derogatory term used to hurt people. He encourages Chiron not to let others define him. However, when Chiron later asks Juan if he sells drugs to his mother, Juan's guilt overwhelms him. Chiron realizes that even someone who cares for him is complicit in his mother's addiction. Part 2. Chiron, Teenage Years. The second chapter is titled Chiron, focusing on Chiron's teenage years, now played by Ashton Sanders. He is still quiet and withdrawn, struggling to navigate high school while enduring constant bullying from a classmate named Terrell. Chiron continues to grapple with his sexual identity, though he keeps it hidden from those around him. Chiron's relationship with his mother deteriorates further as her addiction worsens, and she often berates him for not giving her money. Despite this, Chiron finds some solace in his friendship with Kevin, played by Gerald Jerome, who shows him kindness. One night, Chiron and Kevin share an intimate moment on the beach, where they kiss, and Kevin gives Chiron his first sexual experience. This tender moment marks Chiron's first real connection with another person on an emotional and physical level. However, the next day, Terrell pressures Kevin into participating in a cruel game of knock down, stay down, where Kevin is forced to beat Chiron in front of their classmates to prove his toughness. Kevin, torn between his loyalty to Chiron and his need to fit in, reluctantly complies, leaving Chiron humiliated and betrayed. This moment pushes Chiron to his breaking point. In a moment of pent-up rage, Chiron returns to school and violently attacks Terrell with a chair, finally standing up to his tormentor. However, this act of defiance results in Chiron's arrest, and he is sent to a juvenile detention center, his life taking a dark turn. Part 3. Black, Chiron as an adult. The final chapter, titled Black, focuses on Chiron as an adult, played by Trevant Rhodes. Now living in Atlanta, Chiron has adopted the street name Black and works as a drug dealer, mirroring the path of his childhood mentor, Juan. He is transformed physically into a hardened man, with a muscular build and a tough exterior that shields the emotional scars of his past. Despite his outward transformation, Chiron remains emotionally distant and still struggles with his sexual identity. One day, Chiron receives a phone call from Kevin, now played by Andre Holland, who invites him to visit him at a diner in Miami. The call stirs long-buried emotions within Chiron, and he decides to return to his hometown, embarking on a journey of self-reflection. Before visiting Kevin, Chiron stops to see his mother, Paula, who is now living in a rehabilitation center. In an emotional confrontation, Paula apologizes for the pain she caused him and begs for his forgiveness. Chiron, still hurt by the neglect he endured, listens but is reluctant to let go of his resentment. Despite this, the scene hints at a possibility for healing between mother and son. The reunion with Kevin. Chiron finally reunites with Kevin at the diner where Kevin works as a cook. Their conversation is tentative at first, filled with years of unspoken words and unresolved tension. Kevin reflects on his own life, revealing that he has a son and that things didn't turn out the way he imagined. Chiron, who has built his life around emotional detachment, struggles to express himself but eventually confesses that Kevin is the only person who has ever truly touched him. In the film's final moments, Kevin gently comforts Chiron, holding him close as they sit together in silence. Chiron, for the first time in years, allows himself to be vulnerable and rests his head on Kevin's shoulder. This intimate gesture represents Chiron's yearning for connection, love, and acceptance after years of suppression. The film closes with a hauntingly beautiful flashback to Chiron as a child, standing alone in the ocean under the moonlight, a poignant image that symbolizes his lifelong search for identity, belonging, and inner peace. Closing thought. Moonlight, 2016, is a deeply emotional and introspective film that explores the complexities of identity, masculinity, and the search for human connection. Chiron's journey, told in 3 distinct chapters, captures the pain and isolation that comes with being different in a world that demands conformity. The film's quiet moments of tenderness and vulnerability speak volumes about the struggles of self-discovery and the desire for love and acceptance. Moonlight ultimately reminds us that identity is fluid, and it is through love and connection that we find our truest selves.